All right, so today we're diving into something pretty mind-blowing, running large language models locally.
Yeah.
You heard right. Not just in the cloud anymore, right on your own device.
It's a game changer, for sure.
I bet some of you are thinking, whoa, hold on, isn't that like super technical?
It can be. Yeah.
But that's why we're here. We've got a whole stack of sources,
Yeah.
articles, YouTube videos, all that good stuff. We're going to break it down. No jargon overload, I promise.
Exactly. We'll make it crystal clear.
One thing that really caught my eye, this guy in a video, he's like analyzing his finances with a local LLM.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one.
Keeping his bank statements totally private. I mean, how cool is that? Like your own AI financial advisor.
Yeah, but way more secure. That's a huge part of this whole shift
Yeah.
toward local LLMs, putting the control back in the user's hands.
Like the early days of personal computers.
Exactly. Remember the excitement around moving away from those big mainframes?
Right, having the power on your desk.
It's a similar idea, empowering people to harness AI, but on their own terms.
Right. Prioritizing privacy control, all that. So it's like a personal computing revolution.
Yeah.
But for AI. But why are people so excited about this? Why ditch the cloud?
Well, there are some major advantages, privacy being a huge one.
Like you said with those financial statements.
Right, your data stays put. It never leaves your device.
Not going to some random server farm.
Nope, you're in total control. Essential for sensitive stuff, financial data, medical records.
Even like top secret business plans.
Exactly.
Makes sense with all the data breaches
Right.
and privacy concerns these days. It's like having your own AI vault.
I like that analogy.
Keep all your sensitive info locked up.
Safe and sound.
And what about the cost?
Oh yeah, that's another big plus. Cloud-based AI can get pricey, especially if you're using it a lot.
For those big, heavy-duty tasks.
Right, running models locally could be way more cost-effective in the long run.
Like owning a car versus taxis.
Perfect analogy.
If you drive all the time, owning's better.
Mm-hmm.
But for occasional trips, a taxi's fine.
Exactly.
So more control over your AI experience, too.
Absolutely.
You choose the models. Fine-tune them to your liking.
You can even run them offline.
Wow.
It's about pushing boundaries, creating new applications, things we haven't even thought of yet.
This is all so fascinating. But I gotta be honest, I'm getting a little lost. Our sources keep mentioning all these tools. Ollama, Kafka ML PG Vector. It's an AI jungle out there.
Uh-huh, I know what you mean.
Help us cut through the noise. What are the key things to consider when choosing the right tool?
Of course, it can seem overwhelming, but it all boils down to your needs and what you're trying to achieve. Let's start with Ollama. It's like the beginner-friendly option.
Oh, okay.
Super easy to set up, even if you're not a coding whiz.
So you don't need to be like a tech guru.
Not at all. It's a great starting point. For playing around with different LLMs, there's this YouTube video, walks you through the whole process.
Step by step.
Yep, no head-scratching required.
So like training wheels for local LLMs.
Exactly.
You can experiment, get comfortable.
Without all the technical headaches.
I like that. And what about Kafka ML?
Now that one's more powerful. Opens up a whole new world. Real-time data processing.
Okay, now we're talking. Real-time data processing, that sounds intense.
It is pretty cool.
What kind of applications are we talking about?
So imagine analyzing data from your smart home or factory as it's being generated,
In real time.
using an LLM to spot patterns, make predictions, even trigger actions automatically,
Wow.
or picture a self-driving car reacting instantly to its environment.
Without relying on the cloud.
Exactly. That's the power of Kafka ML.
That's incredible. But it sounds pretty heavy duty. Is it only for serious developers?
It does require some knowledge of Kubernetes, which is a platform for managing applications.
Okay.
But there are tons of resources out there to help you learn, and the power it gives you is worth it.
So we've got Ollama for beginners and Kafka ML for the more advanced folks.
Yeah.
What about this PG Vector thing? The Data Camp article mentioned databases and like talking to your database. Is that some kind of magic?
Haha, it does sound a bit like magic, doesn't it?
It really does.
But it's all based on this idea called vector embeddings. It's a way of representing data, text, images, whatever, as points in a multi-dimensional space.
Multi-dimensional space. That sounds complicated.
It's like a map where similar items are clustered together.
I see.
And PG Vector, it's an extension for Postgres databases. It uses these embeddings to let you query data based on meaning.
Not just keywords.
Right.
So I could ask my database
Yeah.
something like, show me all the documents about financial forecasting.
Exactly.
They would actually understand what I meant.
Exactly. It's
Well,
like
no.
having a conversation with your data.
Using natural language.
Yep. You can explore and uncover insights. That would be super hard to find otherwise.
That's amazing. So we've talked about the tools. But what I'm really excited about is seeing local LLMs in action. The YouTube videos have all these cool examples.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Analyzing finances,
Yeah.
building an AI knowledge base, even creating cinematic videos.
With AI-generated prompts.
It's mind-blowing. Can you walk us through some of the concepts behind these applications?
Sure thing. One of the most interesting techniques is retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short.
RAG. Okay.
Remember how we talked about vector databases understanding meaning?
Yeah.
Well, RAG takes that a step further. Imagine asking your LLM a question, something complex, something it needs extra knowledge for.
Beyond its training data.
Right, with RAG. The LLM can search your local files.
Like research papers, company reports.
Anything relevant, and then it uses that info to answer you.
So it's not just using what it already knows, it's actively seeking out new knowledge from my personal data.
Exactly.
That's incredible. It's like giving it access to a library.
A specialized library.
Tailored to my needs.
Exactly.
Oh, amazing.
And that brings us to another key concept, prompt engineering.
Prompt engineering.
It's the art of talking to your LLM.
Okay.
How you phrase your questions, the details you give, even your tone of voice. It all affects the LLM's output.
So it's like learning a new language.
In a way, yeah.
But instead of grammar and vocab, you're learning how to structure your thoughts.
So the LLM can understand you.
Interesting.
There's this one YouTube video. It does a deep dive on prompt engineering for video generation.
Using ChatGPT and Runway ML.
That's the one.
I saw that.
It breaks down how to craft prompts to evoke certain moods, aesthetics, camera movements.
So you're not just saying make a video about a cat.
Right.
You're saying something like, create a cinematic short film shot from the cat's perspective with a playful and whimsical feel, using a handheld camera style.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Wow.
And the results are amazing. These AI-generated videos, so detailed and creative.
It's credible. So RI is about enhancing the LLM's knowledge, and prompt engineering is about communication. What about fine-tuning?
Ah, yes, fine-tuning.
It's like training a dog, teaching it to do tricks.
But instead of a dog, you're adapting a pre-trained LLM to do a specific task really well. For example, there's a tutorial on fine-tuning a model to control a VR device using natural language.
So I could say something like, move forward 10 steps. Yeah. Or turn left and pick up the object.
Exactly.
And the LLM would translate those commands into actions in the VR world.
Right.
And the more I use it, the better it gets at understanding me.
Exactly.
This is all so exciting. Yeah. But part of me is wondering, is this technology really ready for prime time?
That's a fair question.
It all sounds amazing. But are there any downsides?
Well, there are definitely challenges. One of the biggest right now is hardware requirements.
Right.
Powerful LLMs, especially the larger ones, they need a lot of power and memory.
So my old laptop might not cut it.
They might struggle with some tasks.
What kind of hardware are we talking about?
For basic stuff, a decent laptop might be fine. Okay. But for cutting-edge applications, you'll probably need a more powerful machine.
With a dedicated graphics card.
And plenty of RAM.
It's an investment.
It is, but hardware is always improving.
So the requirements will probably go down.
Over time, yeah.
So hardware is one thing. Are there any other limitations?
Another challenge is the technical expertise needed for some of these tools.
Like coding skills.
Yeah, some tools, like Kafka ML, require a deeper understanding of certain concepts.
Like Docker and Kubernetes.
Right.
So there's a learning curve.
There is, but there's a great community out there, lots of resources and support.
To help people learn.
Exactly.
That's good to hear.
And one final consideration is model updates.
Okay.
Unlike cloud-based LLMs, which are constantly being updated, local models are a bit more manual.
So I'll need to install updates myself.
Yeah, you'll need to keep an eye out for new releases.
So it's not as simple as clicking update.
It's a bit more hands-on.
But at least I have control.
Exactly. You decide which models you use and how you update them.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides. Hardware technical expertise updates.
Right.
But despite all that, there's still a lot of excitement around local LLMs.
Definitely.
What's your take on the future of this tech? Where do you see this all going?
Oh, I think it's huge. We're on the verge of something big. Like how the internet democratized information, local LLMs could do the same for AI.
Wow. So we're not just talking about new gadgets. We're talking about a societal shift.
Exactly.
But how does that actually play out?
Well, imagine a world where anyone can use AI to solve problems, create new things, enhance their lives.
So not just big companies and researchers.
Yeah.
Everyday people using AI
Exactly.
to start a business, write a movie.
Analyze their health data.
Endless possibilities.
It's like giving everyone a superpower.
That's an interesting way to put it. But every superhero story has its villains.
True.
Are there any risks as this technology spreads?
We definitely need to be mindful. One concern is misuse.
Okay.
Like any powerful tool, local
Yeah.
LLMs could be used for harm.
Creating fake content, maybe?
They're spreading misinformation.
Amplifying biases.
Exactly.
We've already seen that with AI online.
Right, and deepfakes and all that.
So how do we prevent that?
Yeah.
With local LLMs?
It's a tough challenge. We need safeguards. Ways to detect manipulated content.
To track where AI-generated stuff comes from.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
also about fostering responsible AI use.
So it's not just about the tech itself.
It's about education ethics, creating a framework for responsible use,
That makes sense.
empowering users to understand AI, to be critical of the information they see, and to use these tools for good.
To benefit society as a whole.
Exactly.
This has been an amazing journey, exploring the how, the why, the what ifs.
It's a fascinating topic.
We've covered so much. Privacy, cost savings, customization, real-time data processing.
Even the potential societal impact.
But as we wrap up, I want to bring it back to the listener. What's the key takeaway? What should they be thinking about after this deep dive is over?
I think the biggest takeaway is the power of AI is shifting. It's no longer just for the big players. It's coming to your device, your home, your life.
It's becoming more personal.
And with that comes responsibility to understand this technology,
Yeah.
to engage with its potential, and to help shape its future.
To make sure it's used for good.
Exactly.
So it's not just about consuming AI, it's about participating in its evolution.
It's about recognizing that AI is a tool we can all use.
To create, to learn, to solve problems.
It can maybe even have some fun along the way.
Well said. That's all for our deep dive into the world of local LLMs. We hope you've enjoyed it and that you're leaving with a sense of wonder and a thirst for more. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those deep questions.